Welcome to Afternoon Tea with Caden Alexander. I'm Caden Alexander, and this is the final tasting video of last month's box. So we are gonna get right on to it. So, this beautiful thing, blowfish wafer, Fukuruko Shiruko. Yeah, Fukuruko Shiruko. I can't speak fast right now because I am so tired. It's from Shizuoka Prefecture, Iwatsuka Confectionery. And it is a blowfish-shaped monaka with mochi inside. And what we're supposed to do, as you see the hole in there, we're actually supposed to pour hot water into it. So let me touch the thermal on accident. And very carefully, it's supposed to be 100 milliliters. Cool. Now I just wait for that to break up and soften. So it's soften and mix to complete. Also, it should be known this beautiful bowl is also from the same box. Nice, the water is almost red. Ah, there's red bean in there, that's why. So let us try. It's very difficult to pick up too. So let me try to grab this, if at all possible. It's proving very difficult. Well, first here is the mochi. Might have had to leave that in there for a bit. And very sweet, very interesting texture. The wafer itself is like completely, I'm scared because it's still intact, but it's like drooping. It's a very interesting flavor. I might have added too much water. It said 100 mils. And while this kind of looks like 100 mils, it feels like more. Also, it looks different compared to the picture. But it could also just be the lighting. Here, let me show you again. As opposed to. But it's a very interesting taste and texture. Oh, there it goes. It won't stay on the chopstick. Yeah, it's very interesting. I've definitely never had anything like this before. Uniquely Japan experience. And there's other little mochi bits floating around in here too. I wonder if I'm supposed to like slurp the rest like a tea. It doesn't really say. But it's more or less a mochi porridge, so might as well try it, right? The Atsuki definitely brings out the sweetness. But very interesting sweet. As you can hear, it's a mite windy today. And I didn't come prepared yet again, because I just don't know what to talk about. And I know these videos don't really get much views, which is totally understandable. I mean, why watch some random kid spout just whatever comes out of their mouth, you know? Especially one that's just no filters, no editing. It's just me and the camera. Oh, I should say, I am also drinking yuzu right now. I am obsessed with this stuff. This and umeshu I absolutely love. It's a non-alcoholic beverage. It's more or less like sparkling lemonade. Which is a different thing from regular American lemonade, as some of you might know. But, but no, it is really, really good. It actually complements the Shiruko very well. Not only the hot to cold, but the bitter to sweet. Speaking of sweets, I do have one more sweet. I have I forgot what it was already. The Azuki Warabi Mochi. I think you're supposed to cube it, but I am lazy, so we're just gonna eat it as is. With a fork. I apologize if the camera angles are especially bad in this video. Ooh, this is sticky. It barely will come out of the packaging. So there are whole azuki beans in there. It is a very nice flavor. Again, I don't know what the connection is between azuki beans and cranberry sauce to me, but that's almost what it tastes like. A much sweeter version of cranberry sauce, but that's where my mind goes to immediately. So in the previous video, I was talking about losing touch with friends, which is very common when you move and when you discover yourself. And when you also grow up on the internet, where all websites are constantly changing. I hope y'all can hear me, it's really windy. But websites are constantly changing, the way we communicate online is constantly changing. And yeah, there are just so many people I have lost touch with, but I was just recalling the things that I used to be on. And of course, like most kids born in the early 90s, I was a Neopets kid. I played Neopets and pretty much every virtual pet site that existed I tried getting into. I tried getting into Maripets, Zeta Pets, which is now something completely different. I forget what they call it now, but it goes by a different name even. But I would play those two a lot. Toontown. I played Toontown a lot. What else? It didn't exist for a long time. And it was very lesser known, but there was a thing called AWOL Now. It's pretty much what Gaia was trying to become in the sense of like towns and stuff, but it was all 3D. And you could create your character, you could go to the arcade, you had your own little PDA, so your own little... Before phones, there were PDAs. And it would keep track of all of your contact info and act as a calendar and a map of sorts and all this stuff. So we had one of those in the game, and it was really neat. But I would play that constantly. They had like rooms where, or they'd have like a cafe where you could actually interact with like the espresso machine maker, and you could sit down and you could move things. So it was really cool. A lot of us would pretend to work at the cafe and order and stuff. And you could have snowball fights and go in a hot spring. Oh, it was so interesting. It was so much fun. What else? And then, of course, just role-playing. I would make up my own characters to pretty much any franchise I was even remotely into. I had Pirates of the Caribbean OCs. I had a Teen Titans OC. Cat Scratch. I know. I had Cat Scratch OC. I had, of course, Sonic, which I'm still into. Naruto, of course. But I'd say the main ones were Naruto and Pirates of the Caribbean. But the Naruto, oh my goodness, my OCs were absolute train wrecks, as they tend to be when you are 12. But the bonds that I made through that site, I'm still friends with quite a few of them on Facebook. A few also either lost touch. Unfortunately, they left the website and we had no other way of getting a hold of them. And one was such a good friend that she actually invited me to her wedding. And so 8 years after our meeting on the website and talking for forever, I was actually a part of her wedding as part of the bride's council. So it was really, really cool. Because I met, like, even though that was literally my first time meeting her, it felt like we knew each other for our entire life. And her family was all so sweet too. My flight ended up getting canceled and I had to postpone it, I think, 2 days ahead, so I had to stay with them for 2 extra days. But they were so nice. They took me sightseeing and it was just so pleasant, and I miss them all so much. And then I still have friends from the Sonic community, most of which are amazing artists. And But a lot of people from Sonic community when I started too fell out of it. And it's funny because I can remember these people and their OCs so vividly to the point where I could probably draw them again if someone asked me to. Or at least close enough to them. But I haven't spoken to anyone in probably over a decade. And it's kind of disheartening, you know? Just wondering, where are they now? How are they doing? Do they remember me? That's the weird thing. Like, does anyone actually remember when I was just a role player on Neopets and DeviantArt and Gaia? But yeah, one day I might reach out to people, try to find people. But for now, I'm confident in knowing that, hey, if they do remember me, probably good things, hopefully good things. And if not, c'est la vie. Well, that's really all I have. Oh, I am done. I wanted to do a final review of the box. And then after that, I'll let y'all go. Because this is probably like 20 minutes already, give or take. And if you are watching this, thank you. I love you. So let's see. So all in all, I really thoroughly enjoyed this box. The mochi was all very interesting. I'd say probably my favorite things in the box had to have been, I'm looking, I'd probably say the ume mochi. And yeah, I'd probably say the ume mochi. Everything else was really good and refreshing in its own way, but it didn't like stand out to me. Because most of it was more or less the same because it was all mochi. The Sakura Sable cookie was pretty good. And the tea I preferred to the ume tea from last time. So all in all, this was a good box. I'm glad I got it. And I am super excited for next month's box. Y'all have no clue. There's a lot of goodies in there. I prefer refreshing to sweet. So there's a lot of citrus in this box. It's actually called the Summertime Citrus Box. So we get to indulge in that. With that said, thank y'all for watching. If y'all have any questions, anything you want me to talk about, or I don't know, anything, just let me know. For now, hope y'all have a great day. Bye.